Welcome to Monday Night Football, where Soccertown USA comes to you, brought to you by Elliott Media. And here we are from the beautiful Mac Gaston Center. And here we are in a special edition. We're calling this the Cinco de Mayo edition. As you can see, we're Todd. There's a mohawk missing over here on the right side.
A little more hair.
And a little more hair here. A little gray, but a little more hair. And then we're missing
can't be perfect.
We're missing Diego as well. So Todd, I guess yesterday he was doing maybe some yard work or something, but pulled his back out. So
old man problem.
Yeah, he wasn't able to show. That's what happens when you turn 40.
Yep.
So he wasn't able to come out today. And then Diego has actually had to go out of the state for some, I think, work obligation, if I'm not mistaken. So he is out. So we were able to do an audible and call in. We were looking at calling in Roy Alvaron, but the weather wasn't looking good. So we said, Roy, we're not going to bring you back.
I think he was a little jet lag. He's been out of the country.
Yeah, he has. It looks like he's been in Mexico, man. So Harry, we're honored to have on with us today the coach from the Lady Catamounts, Jose Almodova. So, Coach, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And like I said, we weren't able to have you earlier in this year, but we are glad to have you on real quick. And before we get into a little bit with Coach Almodova, let's just go ahead and hit that OptiLink scoreboard. We do got some scores for you for last week. We started out on Wednesday, the Dalton boys with a 3-0 win over Pace Academy. Then we have the Dalton Academy boys coming out with a 1-0 win over Bremen. Northwest girls going down to a Cherokee Bluff, and we're going to discuss that a little bit more in depth. We have you here to discuss that because you're familiar with that region. Coahulla Creek girls coming out with a 4-2 win over Shaw. Coahulla Creek boys playing late into Friday night and beating Sumter County 7-0. Murray County girls losing to Morgan County 4-0, but that's still a great result for them because for the season they've had and the March they've done, that is very good for them. And then you have Murray County boys winning versus Jordan 2-1. And then one game that's currently pending and we're waiting to get an update is Northwest versus Jenkins. That game got postponed on Monday due to the weather. They tried to play it Saturday. It wasn't going to happen due to some scheduling conflicts. So as of right now, they are playing that game at 4 o'clock. And as of 30 minutes ago, Todd said it was still 0-0. So we're waiting to get an update on that. But Coach, let's go in a little bit to your season. We've got about 3.5 minutes. So if you want to just give us a little recap on your season, and obviously we know you have a tough region. Well, not a tough region. It's just when you go to state, it's the region that you guys are grouped against is a very tough.
It's been a tough 4 years. I think we've been matched up with two of the top regions in the state. When we make it past the first round, it's always one of those private schools that get us. But we had a great season. Can't complain. 12-4 as the season goes, and we were 6-1 on region play. The only loss was to Alatoona, which they're still in it. They're still they had a real big win in PKs against Pace Academy. But overall, I think we had a great season. Won the Soccer City Cup.
For the
first time. Got a cold bath from the girls. And we'll see if we can keep it going. I think Northwest had a grasp on that thing for a while. So let's see if we can keep it in our side of town for a while.
So really quick, obviously you guys had a successful season. You were second in the region. You weren't able to capitalize, I think, on, was it 3 or 4 straight region championships that you'd won?
Yes, 4 in a row. That was a first for us. So,
but you knew going into the season it was going to be hard versus when you saw that Alatoona was grouped in that lump. I mean, it's just being a realistic coach, it's going to be an uphill battle, but there's opportunity to do it if everybody's playing right.
And we gave it a go. We gave it a go at that game. We were actually up 3-2 right there at the half, and we just got to stay mentally sound throughout the game and to keep it going. And we didn't do it, and you can't do it any games like that when you play really good teams that just and really put some goals in.
And really quick, so you've got quite a few girls going to play college ball this year. I think you've got Ashley Estrada, Allie Rosales.
Kendra Delgado is the other one. She's going to Georgia Gwinnett with Allie. And then a new one, Jasmine Moreno. Okay. She is going down to Point.
Okay.
So
she's going to go down there with Chio then.
Yeah, she'll be down there with some familiar faces. And like I said, this is 4 girls in one season. I think that's a record for us. So we'll keep it going and see what the future has for us next year.
So really quick, we've got a little bit over a minute. How do you feel that the girls, the girls in general in the area, we know they've always lagged but we've seen them improve and get better. Northwest making a couple Final Four runs. Where do you see the girls' game going in the future here?
Hey, it's getting there. We're working real hard. You can see that throughout the county, and these schools are really playing a lot of great soccer. We just got to keep that prize eye on the prize and keep working hard. I mean, it's tough to play those private schools, but that's what's in front of you. That's what you got to go beat.
Hey, it looks like I said, we're all very happy for you, and I know you have made one new fan. He's not here on air today, but Diego has become a Dalton Catamount aficionado. You won him over in the scrimmage game against Northwest, and ever since then, he's still a Raider Rage, but man, that boy.
We enjoy having him. I can hear him. I can hear him from the stands. He's always cheering.
Well, that's good. And really quick before we go to commercial break, Todd was able to let us know that Northwest is up 1-0 at halftime. So in their game, we'll find out here at the end of the show where they stand. And really quick, he wanted me to make note of this, even though it's not Soccer Town, but Ringo goes out to Shaw 2-0 in their game. But with that, we're going to go to commercial break, and we're going to come back. We're going to discuss a little bit of Coahulla Creek.
I'm Dr. Michelle Little.
And I'm Dr. Kayla Juba with Foundation Direct Family Care. We wanted to start a membership-based primary care practice.
But we're doctors, not business people.
I'm Kylie Roy with Biltwell Bank. I listen to their pitch and help them scale from startup to owning their own building.
Biltwell sees the value of small businesses in the community and supports their ingenuity.
Because every business owner doesn't have an MBA, our bank is Biltwell.
Member FDIC.
Who's up for some football?
That's not football. This is football.
And Andy, there's one thing that we all can agree on. That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles. And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Come see us.
Hey, that's our part.
And welcome back to Monday Night Football. As we mentioned, we are blessed to have Coach Jose Almodovar from the Lady Catamounts on with us. And right before commercial break, I did say that Northwest was up 1-0 in their game that they got. They had to make up today. So we will have continued updates on that score line throughout the game. But Coach Almodovar, let's talk a little bit about Coahulla Creek. And we're going to then obviously transition to a little Northwest. So Coahulla Creek came in, a team that you're familiar with. And they came out and they beat a Shaw team, which is out of the Atlanta area, 4-2. And they had 2 goals from Lily Johnson and Megan Ramsey. So, Brandon, if you can cue up those goals here, those 2 goals that we got here. One of them, sorry, the quality isn't that good. But, Todd was able to procure this. And so, as you can see, it's a nice little play there, goal there. And then we have another one by Megan Ramsey. So, they were able to score 2 goals. These were 2 of the goals that they captured. Actually, Lily Johnson had a brace in this game. Coahulla Creek was able to pull out this win 4-2. A team that you're familiar with. Yep. Is that a scoreline that you expected from a
Listen,
Creek?
When you get to the playoffs, a lot of those projections can go out the window. You still got to show up to play. But congrats to Coach Coley and his girls. They're hitting a stride right now, and that's what you want out of your team. Like we said, when the season's over, you got to kind of focus in on the next season that you got coming up, which is state, and just got to play it one game at a time. And Coach Coley's got those girls playing well, and hopefully they can do the same thing, get a win with Drew Carter here.
Yeah. So
shortly.
Yeah. So looking at this, the way they did the seedings. In 1 to 3A, it wasn't like top 1, 2, 3, or 4. Basically, it was 1 to 32.
Yeah.
And Coahulla Creek girls came in with they were the number 5 team. They're going to be playing a Drew Charter team, and I think you said you got some stats for us on Drew Charter.
I'm a numbers guy, and just looking at what Drew Charter has had 101 goals this season.
Yes.
And only given up 9. So that's a pretty big stat. But the other stat is 88 goals in region play with 0 to give up.
And I see that they have 13 shutouts on the season.
Yes.
So
either they're really good or the teams they're playing are not too.
I ain't gonna lie. I did go do a little peek at their region. I did see some of their region teams, and I think they're playing like a Redan, Tri-City, some of those schools that aren't really known for soccer.
Yes. More football schools
and basketball schools. So to be real honest, this is a wild card for the girls. You know, we don't really know what they're going to be able to muster up. In my book, and I'm just putting this out there, if Coahulla Creek girls play the way they've been playing now, after the Soccer City Cup, they got all their players back. We know that they were a little shorthanded that matchup, but you guys really wanted it. They've just been on a roll. They've been winning. They won region, which was the first time in their school history that they've done that. So Asher and Coach Cooley have them running on that. So
yeah. I mean, they've been doing a great job, like I said, just staying focused. The only other team I saw in there that kind of had a decent record was Walker, and they lost to Walker 7-1.
Walker private school.
Yeah, it's a private school, so that was one of the two losses I saw in there. The other one was Tri-Cities, but
so the two losses that they have, that's where they allow the 9 goals.
Yeah.
Every other game.
Blanks. Yeah. So,
and really quick, though, I forgot to say Todd did procure an interview with Lily Johnson and Megan Ramsey. So let's go to that interview really quick, and then we'll come back and dissect a little bit more of the Coahulla Creek and then Northwest game.
Hey, this is Todd with Monday Night Football. Once again, I'm joined by Lily Johnson and Megan Ramsey. You guys won your Sweet 16 match tonight. Lily, let's start with you. You had 2 big goals. You guys were down 2-0 in the first half. What was it like coming into halftime down 2, knowing that you should probably be up?
We just weren't in the right mindset. We needed to lock in. And Griffith gave us a great speech at halftime, and he got his confidence, and we went out there and played like we know how to play.
Are we allowed to repeat anything that he said?
It's nothing bad.
No, it is nothing bad. He was just basically saying, we know how to play and that we should be connecting our passes better, playing on the ground, just more aggression, and just playing like we want to win, because we know we did. We wanted to win, and it showed.
And Megan, you had a tough assignment locking up 22 tonight. Yes, she was skillful, had speed. What kind of challenge did that present for you tonight?
It was a very hard challenge for me and Allie in the middle, but she's a very great player. She had speed, and she was all around the box. She was moving. It really, after her second goal, her volley, I had to really make sure I kept her in front of me instead of just switching to the side she was on, keeping her in front, and I mainly focused on that.
Well, congratulations. You guys are Elite 8 bound, and so good luck in the rest of the playoffs.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And as you can see, Todd was able to do his duty before he pulled out his back. They were discussing their win there and their upcoming advancement into the playoffs. And as mentioned, Coach Almodovar, what I'm looking at here, I'm just forecasting. I'm looking at the GHSA schedule. If Coahulla Creek wins, they have the potential to play the Sonoraville Pike County game.
Yeah.
Pike County is coming in as Team 1 in 3A, and then Sonoraville is coming in as a Team 9s. Coahulla Creek's already played them during the season. So
I will say Pike County is a pretty good team. And then obviously Sonoraville is a team that Coahulla's familiar with because they played in the region. But I think, that's a possibility. That's what we want to see if Sonoraville can pull the upset over Pike County. Now, they are traveling down there.
Yes.
And traveling is, as a coach, it takes some stuff, some of the mojo out of you sometimes. But you got to get there early, warm up, kind of go through your progressions, kind of get familiar with the things that you do to get comfortable to get ready to get into the game. So hopefully Sonoraville can do that, and then Coahulla can also do that, and then we'll have a semifinal for North Georgia semifinal again.
And with that, let's transition it really quick over to Northwest girls. They end up hosting, but they end up going down 3-0 to Cherokee Bluff. Northwest Bruins record ends of the season at 10-6. Coach, Cherokee Bluff is from a tough Region 8 that has a Jefferson, a Coney County, Mount Zion, so it was going to be uphill sledding just when we saw that. And honestly, I think Jefferson in 3A, they're just running
Yeah.
over everybody. I think that may be the favorite. So
Yeah, Jefferson's still in there. Anything that's going to happen is going to run through Jefferson in that area down there, north in that Oconee County area. There's just a lot of good soccer down there, a lot of good teams, well coached, travel ball, all that stuff. So it was a tough ask, but the girls did what they could. They had a great season, and Coach Isael is doing a wonderful job pulling double duties. I don't know how he does it,
Yes.
but hats off to you, Coach. Good luck tonight too. Hopefully you pull through with the win on the boys' side.
Well, while we was saying that, I did get a text. So Northwest is now up
Right, we got an
2-0. So as we do that, they are up 2-0. And really quick, we got about 30 seconds. We want to say, hey, great season for Northwest.
Yes, absolutely.
They ended the season 10-6, but those 6 losses, you got to think about it. Coach Isael, what he does, he just like you do.
Yep.
You believe in the philosophy during region, play your region games, but out of region, you're looking at playing higher and better
You have
competition just to get you ready for the state playoffs.
Those are the games they're gonna try you, and they're gonna prepare you for that the state playoffs.
Yeah. And with that, we're getting ready to go to commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about a little bit of Maury County soccer.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
I chose OptiLink because of the great local service.
We know computers, and OptiLink knows internet with high-speed symmetrical uploads and downloads.
My customers depend on me for safety and security, and I need fast and dependable internet. That's why I chose OptiLink.
Some people say you can't have fast internet. I say, oh yes you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today, 706-529-1313.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
And welcome back to Monday Night Football. Yes, we are here with the one and only Coach
back.
Jose Almodovar. We have no Todd. If you've missed out, he's out with a back injury, and Diego's out traveling the state. So hopefully they'll be back. But, we've got a good replacement here.
I'm here if you need me.
Hey, and look, now let's go into a little bit about Maury County soccer. We're going to discuss a little bit of the girls and then the boys. But you just said off air that you have a little bit of a connection with Maury County.
Well, Morgan County, actually. I did my student teaching down in Morgan County. I was at Morgan County Middle School.
Oh, when you were down at UGA?
Yep, and I actually did a little bit of coaching with the boys side over there. So I have a little bit of ties down there. So their soccer is always, it's good. But when they get to that Atlanta area, they seem to can't get over the hump. But they got some good soccer down there.
Yeah, so we're going to really touch base first off. The Maury County girls, they go down to, I think Morgan County came. And they go down 4-0. But as we know, Morgan County, if you've been following high school state playoffs for the last few years, even on the boys' side, Morgan County is always a tough matchup for boys and girls. The girls, Maury County girls are coming up. They're playing better. Think you played them a little bit this year. And they're not scared to schedule out. They play a lot of their record overall was 9-11. But obviously, one of those lost to you. They played Coahulla Creek. They played all these other schools, so they're not shying down from the competition.
They're not. And again, my philosophy is you got to go out there. You got to play the best teams. You got to play good soccer, and that's where you're going to improve. And it's also a mental thing. Once you get some of those wins against some quality teams, it kind of just builds that mentality and that confidence that you want out of your team.
Yeah, and I see Maury County. They made a run into the Sweet 16. I think last year they didn't even qualify. I don't know if it was last year or before. They didn't even qualify for the playoffs. So for them, that's a great big run. And I mean, I don't want to touch on it too much, but I think removing those private schools and from 1A to 3A makes a big difference.
Yes,
especially in the lower classifications.
Yes, it can make a huge difference. Like I said, you at the private schools get to cherry pick here and there, but the public schools we kind of just we got what we got.
Yeah.
So we're going to continue working as a public school to get better, and maybe in the future they'll have some common sense down at GHSA and say, hey, we need to do the same thing with the other classifications. So,
and we're going to discuss that a little bit more in the next segment. So we're just hold on. We're still going to be on a little private school
soapbox.
Save
some for the end.
Yes, but like I said, Maury County girls real great. They had a great run into the season 9-11.
Congratulations to them.
Yes, and now they go home, but then they get to regroup, see who they got coming back, see who maybe is coming up through the feeder schools, because as you mentioned, the girls are just getting better and better on the side. So now we transition over to the Maury County boys. This team, they ended this. Currently their record is 12-8, but Coach Gould, which you're familiar with, early in the season we were looking at the schedule that he was playing, Johns Creek, all these schools, but I guess he knew what he was doing. They came out, they played Jordan Red Jackets, which are from Columbus, and Maury County boys come out with a 2-1 win.
Hey, great for them. I mean, like I said, I was just listening to a podcast from Soccer Down here. And they had Coach Tino on there from Calhoun, and he was basically talking about the same thing that we've been talking about right now, which is you can't shy away from the competition. And I think the Maury County boys, as Coach Gould, has had that philosophy too, where you got to go out and play these great teams to become part of the conversation in the future. If you want to build your program around, hard work and just buying into the program. So you got to go out and compete. You got to compete and play a soft schedule.
And like I said, when the coach Marco Brutagueño was there, they had a good team. I don't think they played as much out of region competition as this year did. Obviously, Coach Gould saw what he had and saw the talent that he had coming. And then obviously the up and coming talent. He was a fine soccer player himself in his day. So I think Maury County boys are they're in good hands right now. Now they're going to be going on the road. They got a matchup. Let's say that getting school again. It's called Drew Charter. They're going on the road to play Drew Charter. Drew Charter comes in with a record of 15-1, 117 goals scored. They've only allowed 9. So between both the boys and the girls, they've scored over 220 some goals and allowed 18 total.
Yeah.
10 shutouts, so combined 23 shutouts. But as we've mentioned, the teams that I'm just going back looking at the record that Drew Charter played and the teams that they played. I'm going to give Maury County the edge, and the reason I'm saying that is Maury County's played Cullowhee Creek. They've had to play Ringgold, which Ringgold made a deep run. They've had to play. I don't think they played Southeast, but they played Dalton Academy. So they have played a tough region and outer region schedule.
Yeah, and again, I mean, it starts with your schedule, your coach, your players, but your feeder system. I think that's another thing Coach Tino was talking about. Your rec department's got to buy into that too. So if your rec department buys in, your soccer, the quality of your soccer players are going to get better throughout the years, and hopefully that'll help them out. But they don't shy away from the competition, and that's good for them because it's going to pay off. I think they're going to do it. They're going to show Drew Carter that
Northwest Georgia knows how to play some soccer. Before
for sure
soccer titles used to go run through Atlanta, but I think now it's been a little role reversal the last 10 years.
For sure, they're going to make their trip to the North Georgia mountains every season just to get to the title.
And Coach, looking really quick. I mean, Ringgold got put out, so now it'll be Shaw versus Jackson in the Elite 8. But Maury County's on the other side of the bracket playing Drew Charter. If they make it through, they can get into the semis, possibly playing a Chris County versus Tattnall County. And then on the other side, you have Cullowhee Creek on the lower end of the bracket and Columbus.
That's going to be a tough game.
Yes, that is going to be a tough game. But, I'm putting we're sticking local here. I think, I would love, think about this. If there was a Maury County
Cullowhee Creek final,
who would have?
It's possible.
So, I mean,
you got to show up. You got to show up to play. That's the philosophy. Show up to play. You got to win. So it's a possibility.
All right, but with that, we're getting ready to go to commercial break, and when we do, Coach Almodovar, we are going to discuss the current school that you're at, and we're going to discuss a little bit of the boys and the gauntlet of private schools that they potentially will have to face.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
And we'll see you after this commercial break.
Here's two of the nicest guys in the car business.
Hey, it's Eddie and Greg from North Georgia Toyota. We're taking a little break from doing commercials, do a little fishing. Hey, I'm not fishing, I'm catching. All right, hang in there, don't let it get away.
Don't let your big deal get away at North Georgia Toyota.
Greg, some listeners gonna say we can't do that. What do we say? We say, oh yes, we can. And that's only at North Georgia Toyota in Dalton. Come see us. Bring it in.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
When I work from home, I need fast, reliable internet. OptiLink provides that with no hidden fees.
Our customers depend on us for great service and quality. And that's why we chose OptiLink Internet.
As we serve the needs of our clients, we need reliable internet service. That's why I chose OptiLink as my hometown provider.
Some people say you can't get fast internet. I say, oh yes you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today.
Everybody, I'm here with, and let me correct this for the record, it's Herman, right? Not German. All of you call him German.
Everybody knows me as German, but it's Herman.
Everyone calls him German. It's Herman. Herman, what a game. 3-0, clean sheet at home, on to the quarterfinals. What's it feel knowing that you're one step closer now?
Feels great. All the hard work we've been putting in has been paying off, but we know it's not over. We got more work to do.
Herman, you're such a central figure in the defense here. What's it like to not only win the game, but to do it with a clean sheet?
Feels great. I mean, I get to be a part of that clean sheet. I help defend, but it's not just me. It's all the other defenders, and it starts from the strikers. They help defend too, so it's the whole team. It's a team effort.
Right. What's the mentality coming into the game today against Pace Academy? Somebody you faced earlier, you won 2-1. Did that play a factor into the game?
Yeah, we knew they were a good team. We played them before, but we knew that it didn't matter what happened before. This was a whole different game, and we knew they were going to come out hungry. But we came out hungry and we wanted it more.
There you go. And then what's your thoughts now on to the next game? What are you feeling? What are you thinking, Herman?
I feel excited. I feel so ready. And I just want me and my team to be ready. We're going to keep working hard and we're going to try to bring it home.
Appreciate it. Congrats on the big game. And it's time to move to the future. Appreciate you, Herman.
Thank you, sir.
And welcome back to Monday Night Football. And now we used to call this the Roy Power Hour. But now we're going to call it the Coach Almodovar Power Hour. We're going to discuss a little bit of this. Is just going to be all Dalton. Don't worry, Dalton Academy, and don't worry, Cahulla Creek. We've got y'all.
Got you.
We added. We didn't want to start out with Dalton. I put them in the middle. But now let's talk a little bit about Dalton boys. They run their record to 18-1.
Yeah.
They played Pace Academy, who they played earlier in the year.
Pace Academy, McIntosh, Johnson. That's what we're talking about. You got to go out and test yourself. Test your team and see what you're made of. You're going to find out a lot of things about your team you may not like early, but the good thing is you're still in the season, and you want to find out what kind of team you have during the season versus right now.
And Coach Cheeves he's been doing that for the last decade at least. Where he's playing tough matches.
Yes. He has to turn away teams. No, we can't fit you in the schedule. We already got.
But look, they went out. They played Pace Academy. They played them early in the year, and I think they won 2-1 early in the season.
Yep.
Down in Pace, so Pace had to come up here.
Come up.
They come out on top 3-0, and they moved up their record. You were at the game. Just give us a quick analysis of what you saw. Like, how did you see the game begin, and how did you know?
Yeah, the final was 3-0, but it was a very competitive 3-0. Pace Academy has some ballers for sure. A lot of speed, a lot of just brute force in the middle, and very quality play. A lot of talented players up top. Just all the way around. What you expect out of a private school. It was hot, so I think that played a little bit of.
We did see some players cramping up for Pace.
Yes. So that played a little role in there, but overall, again, you got to come to Dalton. You got to play in this confined field.
Yep. Which makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference for those Atlanta teams that are usually playing on a bigger field. But I think it's so
really quick. Why does it make a difference on the boys' side, maybe more than the girls?
You can for us, we can compact a little bit more and kind of keep the teams away. They're not going to be able to spread you out as far as you can. And again, with the speed that some of these guys have, it's definitely
an equalizer.
An equalizer, yes, for sure.
Okay.
But we also have our own speed.
But also for private schools, because they're known for their long throw-ins. On a shorter field, it's basically like a corner kick for them.
Yeah. So, it's still the same thing. It's probably in closer, but you got to kind of take some off the throw. So that kind of throws some things off here and there. But again, always playing at home kind of gives you that advantage. You got the home crowd there. You got the Dalton hooligans behind you.
You know what? And talk about the home.
Huge.
Talk about the home crowd. I was really, really impressed by this home crowd. I got there right at 5:30. I'm thinking, because just being real, I've been to a lot of Dalton games. 5:30 kickoff. The stadium's still half
empty,
full. Yeah, and this one, I got there. The student section was already there.
It looked like Friday night Harmon Field on
Friday night. Yeah. So
yeah, it was great. It was great to see the fans out there, and a lot of them, get there later for the boys' game. But this year they've kind of gotten there, for half of the girls' game, and that's also huge for us too, because we'd love to hear them cheer for the girls too. But the crowd noise makes a big difference. It gets into the other mind's other team's psyche, and so we want a big crowd tomorrow to come in to Harmon Field and support the Dalton Catamounts.
Yeah,
we get another win.
And let's just talk about that. Obviously the boys come out with a 3-0 win, and you think it would get easier, but no, Coach, it gets harder, right? They're Elite 8 matchup, and this is a matchup that has been years in the making.
This is the bracket of death.
It really is, because let's just go. So Dalton is going up against St. Pius. I've called this the Battle of the Titans taking place at Harmon Field. You've got St. Pius coming in with 12 state titles. Dalton boys coming in with 7 state titles, 19 combined. You had Dalton in 2013, 14, 15 that went 3-peat. Yeah. What did St. Pius do? They went 3-peat. What do? They went up them and did a 4-peat.
Yep.
Which Dalton should have did a 4-peat as well.
Yeah, we should have. COVID year, we should have had another one there, but that's neither here or there. But again, St. Pius is a perennial power here in Georgia soccer, and they've been at it for a long time. A lot of great St. Pius teams have come up to Harmon Field and left with an L before, but we'll see if we can do it again, replicate that tomorrow. They're going to be strong, they're going to be physical, they're going to be everything again that you expect from a private school, but you just got to break them down mentally and physically and just kind of keep pushing the ball up. Dalton does a great job of pushing the tempo, and hopefully again we have some good weather that'll help out a little bit.
I'm thinking the weather is looking.
The crowd's also going to be.
I'm thinking the weather is looking good for tomorrow. But like I said, this is a very long overdue matchup for for state supremacy, because you got to think about early 2000s, like when I graduated high school, 98, but like 99, 2000, 2001. The team that Dalton always couldn't get past was St. Pius. St. Pius.
I mean, we had some really good Dalton teams, and for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the psyche part, but I mean, it wasn't the talent. I'll tell you that. It wasn't the talent. But when you're there at the top of the mountain for a long time, you kind of know what to expect, and also you're going to get the best out of the other teams. But overall, once you've been there, you're kind of comfortable there. You know what to expect, and the pressure's not on you; it's on them.
Yeah.
So
like I said, but as you mentioned earlier, St. Pius coming in, they're going to play on a smaller, more compact field, more of the advantage to Dalton High. But we've discussed this, and we're going to bring it up really quick in the last 45 seconds. Potentially, if Dalton advances, Westminster's up in the upper bracket.
Yep.
But if Dalton wins, they go head-to-head. Dalton will host because the coin flip is going down low. But then on the other side, you potentially have Blessed Trinity and Marist playing each other. So it's either could be a Blessed Trinity or a Marist. Potentially, if they were to go to straight for a final, they could potentially have to play 3 private schools.
Yep. I mean, and again, you got dealt the cards you got dealt. You can't do anything about it. But they're also probably saying, hey, we got to go up to Dalton.
Yeah.
And again, when you drive up 75, first of all, you got to, you're on that bus.
Yeah.
You got to get off the bus and you got to be ready to go physically and mentally and get ready for a battle. Because if you're not, it's going to be a long night for you. So.
If there's one thing Coach Chief does, he does get the boys ready.
Oh, yeah.
So, hey, get ready to go watch that matchup tomorrow at 6:30 at Harmon Field.
6:30. Be there.
Yes.
It's going to be a great match. Bring everybody.
Yeah.
And we're going to have food, whatever you need. But it's going to be a great atmosphere for sure.
And with that, we're going to commercial break, and we'll come back. We're going to discuss a little bit of Dalton Academy.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, Compare cost of living city by city and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At coldwellbanker.com.
Discover what a strong, locally owned community bank can do for you.
I'm Tyler Hudson of Shankly Elite Training in Dalton, Georgia. We train a huge number of the region's aspiring soccer players. I moved my business and personal banking to Builtwell 2 years ago. It's important for me to work with a community bank where I know them and they know me. Because they make things easy for me, my bank is Builtwell.
Member FDIC.
And welcome back to Monday Night Football. As we just discussed, we were talking about the Dalton St. Pius because that's probably the biggest game. It's so big that Jason Longshore, the voice of Atlanta United and of Soccer Down South, will be here himself calling that matchup. So you know it doesn't get any bigger than that.
It's going to be huge. And again, on that podcast, he's like, yeah, we're going to make our fourth or fifth trip up to Dalton this season. So we might as well have an office there.
Might as well put an office for him. I mean, we can maybe make room here.
Been here for a while.
Probably make room here at Matt Gaston Center for him.
Yeah, we can accommodate for sure.
Hey, but let's turn around. Let's talk about this Dalton Academy, and as Todd calls him, he calls them the Dalton Academy. You know how you say the Ohio State? He's referring to them as the Dalton Academy. They go down to Bremen and come back home with a 1-0 win.
Impressive.
And I'm calling these the Road Warriors because they are having to go on the road every matchup they play. So they and it's just due to their record. Overall, TDA's record is 7-10. So they're 3 games under 500. But you know what? Those 10 losses, go look who they played.
Quality teams.
They played Coahulla Creek. They played a Sonoraville. They played a Southeast. They played a Northwest. Mm-hmm. They played a Heritage High School.
Yep.
So they're playing
battle tested.
They're 2-3. They're playing 2-3 levels above. Coach Laura has them going.
She does, and again, when you have to play this many road games, it's going to do one or two things. It's either going to make it fun for you to travel down with your teammates for maybe the last time, and you get y'all's lives or whatever if you're senior, and build that camaraderie together, or you're going to go down and it's just going to be like we're tired, we just want to get out of the bus and not play soccer and just kind of be tired, lethargic or whatever. But Coach Lara has got them focused, ready to go, and hopefully they can pull up.
I mean, like I said, they went down to Bremen, West Georgia, which is about an hour. I mean, probably on a bus, it's probably close to an hour and 45, 2 hours.
2 hours. Just give them 2 hours.
But now they come back, they win. It was a closely contested match, 0-0 first half. Dalton Academy scores with on a free kick that got loose in the box. They jumped on it, and then they defended like they do.
Yeah.
They defended all out. That's their mantra. If you've ever been to Dalton Academy match, the kids never sit down. They're always up. They're always cheering them on, and they came down.
Yeah.
And now they got an Elite Eight matchup versus Fannin County.
I'll tell you one thing. This group of teams out of this region, which I think 5 out of these teams made it to the playoffs, and Dalton County was a 3rd seed. Fannin County was a 5 seed, I think, out of this region. But Fannin County is no pushover.
No.
Fannin County, look at these things right here. They got wins over Model 2-1, Amerchi. Both of these teams are still in the playoffs. ACE, Atlantic Classical, which is the number 2 seed. They just beat their last game 3-2, and they're on a roll too. I mean, I don't know, like this. You just got to show up.
I mean, the way they did the re-rankings 1 and 3. I know they go by strength, they go by quality. I mean, let's just look at it. They had Dalton Academy as team 23.
Yeah.
So out of the 30 teams that qualified, they said, "Oh, Dalton Academy, you're the 23 best team." So they had to play at Dodge County, which they went out and won 1-0.
Yep.
Dodge was the road team. Then they had to come and play Bremen, who's 7th team out of that, and they won 1-0. Now they're playing Fannin County, who is
a team that they've already beat 2-0.
Yes,
So
exactly. That's what
they're familiar. So let's see.
So that's what I was going to bring up to you. Is there an advantage playing a rematch of the team that you beat previously, in the season. Obviously, they played early in the week. It was they played in week 3, so it was their very beginning cold. They had to go to Fannin County.
Up in the mountains.
Up in the mountain, and they're going to make that run again.
Yeah.
So do you think it's an advantage for Dalton Academy, Fannin, or there's no advantage at all?
Look, I think there is. I mean, Fannin County's got the advantage of playing at home again, but as Dalton is right here, Dalton Academy, they're just on that streak, man. I think they want to keep that streak going. I think they got something. They're fired up for what they've done so far, and I think they can go in and Fannin and pull it off again. I think they'll be motivated, not just physically, but mentally motivated to go out and say, "Hey, we've already beat these guys. Let's go out and do it again."
And the one X factor I'm saying for Dalton right now is the man between the pipes, Freddie Reynosa. That boy is just playing lights out.
Yeah.
He's making saves after saves.
Defense is playing well.
Defense is playing well. Yeah. But you're right. So looking at the schedule, Dalton Academy plays Fannin. The winner of that would play the winner of Jeff Davis, Thomasville. I mean, Jeff Davis is the third team in 3A, and then Thomasville have them as team 6. So I look at this, if this potentially is probably their toughest matchup, just because they played them and they're no familiar and they beat them. So hopefully, but the other teams, I don't have much faith in any teams on this side that are from down south. Yeah. I mean, I'm just being realistic.
Yeah, and you can only do so much with the numbers and how you come up with the rankings and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you just got to go play.
And then on the other side of the bracket, and on the other side of the bracket, you mentioned Armurchie sitting at the bottom of the left side of the bracket. They're playing Toombs County. Armurchie's going to be the favorite. I mean, they're at home.
Yeah.
And then you have Model playing Rabun County.
Yep. And they got a good program down there. Model program, we played the girls this year. They're a solid little program down there. We're playing them again next year, but they got some good soccer playing down there. So it's going to be a really good semifinal match, whoever wins out of that. But I think, if Coach Lara can keep the boys focused and playing the way they are, sound soccer at the back, and then getting their opportunities up top, I think they can get up there to the final and just have a good little Cinderella story.
And really quick before we go to commercial break, I just want to bring in, as Coach mentioned, Model, Armurchie, Dalton Academy, all in the same region.
All in the same region.
They've all played each other. So potentially, you could have 3 teams in the Final Four if they can get past these Elite 8 matchups that are from the same region. Yep. And that just means that region in Division 1A, division or Class A Division 1, you can classify this region as the region of death.
Yeah,
so
for sure. That'd be great, because that'd be the only other time we've seen that was in Whitfield County, where we had Southeast, Northwest, and Dalton.
Yeah.
So,
and with that, we get ready to commercial break, and we come back. We're going to discuss a little bit of Coahulla Creek boys and maybe have an update on the Northwest Bruins.
I'm Dr. Michelle Little.
And I'm Dr. Kayla Gibo with Foundation Direct Family Care. We wanted to start a membership-based primary care practice.
But we're doctors, not business people.
I'm Kylie Roy with Biltwell Bank. I listen to their pitch and help them scale from startup to owning their own building.
Biltwell sees the value of small businesses in the community and supports their ingenuity.
Because every business owner doesn't have an MBA, our bank is Biltwell.
Member FDIC.
Who's up for some football? That's not football. This is football. And Eddie, there's one thing that we all can agree on. That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles. And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Gracias.
Hey, that's our part.
And welcome back to Monday Night Football. We're about to wrap this show, the Cinco de Mayo edition.
Cinco de Mayo.
In our youth, maybe we'd been somewhere else with Cinco de Mayo, but this is how much
we got to do the show first.
This is how we've matured. We're here at the show. I did hear that Pablitos was doing a little bit of a Cinco de Mayo festival, but it's on a Monday. Yes. I don't know. It's going. After 40.
I don't know how that'll go the next day.
Yeah. So. But
we're not young anymore.
We're not young. I mean, those Panama City days are long gone.
Long gone.
Long gone. So let's go back. Now let's go into Coahulla Creek. We talked about the girls earlier. Right now, Coahulla Creek and is the only team that has both their boys and girls.
Yep.
The Coahulla Creek boys played Sumter County. So this was the only game that was played Friday night. Northwest got postponed.
Yeah.
Ringo got played till Monday. Calhoun from Johnson.
Somebody must have been doing some kind of rain dance.
Yeah,
over
they
there.
were playing. But, Murray County ends up winning 7-0. They run their record at 11-1. The game was rain delayed. They didn't start replaying until after like 9 p.m. So when they started the game, I saw Coach or Vanessa Vasquez. You're familiar with Vanessa.
Yes.
You played with her brothers.
Yep.
Coahulla Creek was up 1-0 within the first 5 minutes. And then they went, and then they stopped the game within 8 minutes.
Yeah. And if you've ever been on one of these games where it's stop and go and delay, it's another, just again, keeping your players mentally focused, and maybe throw a ball out there in the locker room, just try to get them to touch the ball, pass around, maybe just stay active. That's the hardest thing, is to keep those kids focused throughout that rain delay, and then get it back out there and finish it. But unfortunately, fortunately they were able to finish, but Northwest wasn't. So
yeah. So Northwest, they never able got started. So I think when they saw the Lightning, it was closer to Northwest. So this one was able to start a little bit earlier. But as we mentioned, Coahulla Creek goes out. They win 7-0. I called this on the show last week. I said this is going to be a mercy rule. It didn't happen. I think if they wouldn't have so many delays, it may have been a different story. I think maybe at the end of the game. I know Coach Jacobo but he wanted this game played, because if not, the game would have been played today, and then whoever wins has got to turn around and play tomorrow. Versus the Columbus, that is the Elite 8 matchup now. It's Coahulla Creek versus Columbus. Columbus has a 14-5 record.
14-5. They were I think they were the number 2 or 3 seed out of their region. No, they were the first seed out of the region, sorry. But they did have a 5-2 win over Sonoraville.
They beat Sonoraville 5-2.
Yeah, and I think Coahulla was 4-4, and they went on PKs. So that can kind of give you a little
But look
insight.
at this right here. Look who they lost to.
They lost to Sumter.
They lost to Sumter County 3-1.
New season.
Yeah. So, the thing is, the loss to Sumter County happened within the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Wow.
So it wasn't in the beginning of the season. It was after the season. So I don't know.
Sumter County was the last region game for Columbus. Now, when you start seeing the numbers and I don't know what happened. I didn't see the game, but I'm assuming, again, if you're not ready to go out there and pitch when it's time to go, things like this can happen. There's nothing more frustrating for a coach when you can go out and beat this team, 5, 6, 7 to nothing, but your players are not there mentally to make it happen. So there's nothing more frustrating than that for a coach than for your players not to be ready. So I think that was may have been what happened. That was the last game of their region, and it just happened to be the last game of the season.
Yeah.
As well, so.
Well, I didn't look at it. I didn't realize that was their last game of the season. Like I said, when I went on to Max Preps Max Preps to look at it and pull some of this data, I saw that and I was stunned. I was like, wait. They lost to Sumter County, and then Coahulla just pulls a 7 on Sumter.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard, but they do the common opponent. So they have 2 common opponents. They did beat Sonoraville. But see, the thing about this Coahulla Creek boys team, they've been a little bit of a Jekyll and Hyde.
Yes. Who's it going to be?
They played a tough Southeast.
Yes.
But then and then Southeast goes and beats Dalton Academy like 9-0.
9-0.
But then Dalton Academy comes right back the next. So it was. Dalton Academy played Southeast. They got blitzed 9-0. But then their next game versus Dalton Academy was Coahulla Creek, and Coahulla Creek barely squeaked it out.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. When you get whipped that bad, there's nothing more that you want to do as a player and as a coach is like, hey, we fell flat on our face. Let's get up. Let's dust the dirt off, and let's get back at it. And let's go beat this other team. Let's rebound and see if we can beat this other team. And I think, Coach probably got to him too, and she was getting after them, and they went out and played a better game against, I believe, Northwest. So.
Yeah. So right now, but like I said, out of all the games that are left right now, I'm thinking Dalton St. Pius is a very tough matchup. This Coahulla Creek, depending on what team comes out, it's going to be a very tough matchup. But if those teams make it, and then I think the games are more in favor of the teams that are, like a Culver Creek, Murray County. I think they have a little. I don't want to say they're favorites, but they can do that. Northwest potentially, they would have to go down and play down on the road. So are they playing on the road?
They are playing on the road.
I have right here. Because as we're talking about this,
they'd have to go to Gilmer, which is another.
Gilmer, they would hope.
Gilmer would have to come home. But here's the other thing, Coahulla is taking it down to Columbus, and if you've ever been down the road to Macon and down that area,
I-85,
it is. The traffic is unreal sometimes. I think it's probably worse than 75. But again, getting your guys off the bus is what she needs to do. Coach needs to do that, and just hey, it's game time, and we need to get ready to go beat Columbus because they're a solid team. Up and down, they've had some real tough games against McIntosh. They dropped that one 6-0, but McIntosh is a top quality team, and then they lost 4-0 to Carrollton. That was I think they're the only 2 losses of the year. So they've been battle tested as well, but again, you got to play the game.
Yeah.
So.
And with that, we're getting ready to go to commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have the final segment today, and we will have some updates regarding the Northwest Bruins.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
I chose OptiLink because of the great local service.
We know computers, and OptiLink knows internet with high-speed symmetrical uploads and downloads.
My customers depend on me for safety and security, and I need fast and dependable internet. That's why I chose OptiLink.
Some people say you can't have fast internet. I say, oh yes you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today, 706-529-1313.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
And welcome back to Monday Night Football. And as I mentioned before, we've got some score updates. Todd is not here, but he's able to. He's watching the game for us, so he's able to keep us updated.
FHS.
Yes, he did let us know that Northwest is up 3-0. He was able to get. So I think we got the first goal that you're going to see here. It's a little grainy, but if you look at it, it was an own goal on Jenkins, and then the second goal was scored by Connor Stiles. I think Todd calls him White Chocolate Dew or Part 2 because of the original White Chocolate Reinhardt. We just got word that Northwest scored a third goal, so they are up 3-0 with about 15 minutes left in this game. So let's just go ahead and say that's going to be a dub for Northwest. They're going to go in, and while we're doing that, let's just go ahead and discuss this OptiLink scoreboard. So we have Coahulla Creek girls playing Columbus today, Monday, Cinco de Mayo. And then all the boys' games are tomorrow. Now there will be 2 boys' games at home. So we have Coahulla Creek boys going down to Columbus. Mm-hmm. You have Dalton boys playing at 6:30 versus St. Pius. You have Dalton Academy traveling to Fannin County. Murray County going down to Drew Charter over there by East Lake Golf Course, a beautiful golf course.
Very nice.
And then now we can pencil in here, and I will go ahead and pencil in Northwest versus Gilmer County. Gilmer having to come over the mountains to play us.
Absolutely.
Coach Almodovar with 2 minutes left here. Out of those 6 games,
what are we going to do, like a pick 'em?
I mean, what are we looking at? Do you think how about this Coahulla Creek Columbus
That one's going to be a tough game for the Coahulla girls. Columbus is a really good soccer school. They got a lot of travel ball players there. Unfortunately, that might be the end for Coahulla, but I want to be proved wrong. So Coahulla, go out there and do your best, and we'll see what happens.
And Coahulla Creek Columbus really quick.
The boys, that's going to be also.
I feel like
it's going to be a very good, depending on which team shows up.
Yeah.
I mean, if the Coahulla Creek that we've been used to, the one that gets up there offensively, they can do it. They can beat Columbus, but that can they get it away from that drive and kind of get ready mentally for the game.
And really quick, we got 4 more games. We got Dalton versus St. Pius. I think I know who you're going to be. It's going to be a very tight game
for sure.
We're hoping.
I got Dalton. I'm going to go Dalton.
Yeah, we're hoping Dalton comes out. Dalton Academy going to Fannin. I'm going with Dalton Academy. They've already beat Fannin.
Let's go Pumas.
Let's go Pumas.
Let's see if they can pull it off in the mountains.
And then you got Murray County going down to Drew Charter. They got a nice little school, as we mentioned, right beside East Lake Golf Course. If you've never been to East Lake, the Tour Championship, make a trip
I'm
down
going to go
there.
out and say that the Indians come away with the W.
I say as well. I think Drew Charter's talent or the schedule that they played, I don't think is conducive to what Murray County has played.
Definitely.
And then now, as we mentioned, in Northwest versus Gilmer County. I think
it's a rematch, isn't it?
I think they played before. I think Northwest came out with a win.
Yeah, case.
Yeah,
2. So it's a rematch of one of the region games. So I think Northwest is going to.
I give Northwest the advantage. The only reason I do that is because of the head coach. Isaiah Gutierrez, he does a good job at home, and he does a good job of that.
Absolutely.
But with that, guys, stay tuned. We have one last show, and that'll be next Monday. Tune in to our finale, and let's go out and support all these teams here in Soccertown, USA.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
When I work from home, I need fast, reliable internet. OptiLink provides that with no hidden fees.
Our customers depend on us for great service and quality. And that's why we chose OptiLink Internet.
As we serve the needs of our clients, we need reliable internet service. That's why I chose OptiLink as my hometown provider.
Some people say you can't get fast internet. I say, oh yes you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today.
Discover what a strong, locally owned community bank can do for you.
I'm Tyler Hudson of Shankley Training in Dalton, Georgia. We train a huge number of the region's aspiring soccer players. I moved my business and personal banking to Biltwell 2 years ago. It's important for me to work with a community bank where I know them and they know me. Because they make things easy for me, my bank is Biltwell.
Member FDIC.
Here's 2 of the nicest guys in the car business.
Hey, it's Eddie and Greg from North Georgia Toyota. We're taking a little break from doing commercials, do a little fishing. Hey, I'm not fishing, I'm catching. All right, hang in there, don't let it get away.
Don't let your big deal get away at North Georgia Toyota.
Greg, some listeners gonna say, we can't do that. What do we say? We say, oh yes, we can. And it's only at North Georgia Toyota in Dalton. Come see us. Bring it in.
To advertise your business on TV, contact Elliott Media at 706-529-4237.